We're about to dive into a family story that is so full of entitlement and betrayal, you'd swear it was made up for a movie. But this was the shocking reality for one daughter, and you're not going to believe how it all went down.
Just imagine, you get home from a long, exhausting business trip, and your own father says this to you. These are the actual words Sonia Thompson heard right after finding out she'd been locked out of her own house. Yeah, that one sentence is just the beginning of a story about some next-level greed.
I mean, that's the central question here, isn't it? It just sounds impossible. How could your own family do that to you? Well, it happened. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how they thought they could get away with the ultimate deception.
So, let's meet our main character, Sonia. She's a 32-year-old marketing director, totally self-made, been on her own since she was 18. She just spent 2 brutal weeks in Singapore closing a massive deal. All she wants is to get home and crash in her own bed. But her key doesn't work. The house is completely dark, and her nightmare is literally just starting. So when Sonia finally gets to her parents' house demanding answers, the scene is just unreal. Her brother, Shan, is right there, flipping through photos of his fancy trip to the Maldives, and then her dad just drops it, so casually, "We sold your house." The excuse from her mom? Oh, Shan was sad because his 3-month relationship ended, and he's sensitive. So they didn't just pay for his vacation, they also treated themselves to a brand new luxury SUV with the money.
Look, an act this crazy doesn't just happen out of the blue. To really get how we got here, you have to rewind. You have to look at the years, decades, really, of favoritism that built the foundation for this whole disaster.
It's like these 2 siblings grew up on different planets. You've got Sonia, who's been hustling since she was a teenager, working 3 jobs in high school to pay for her own college, saving every penny for 5 years to buy that house. And then you've got her brother Sean, 27, who's never really worked, got a new car handed to him at 16, and just let his parents pay off all his debts. The contrast is, well, it's stark.
This timeline just lays it all out. The pattern couldn't be clearer. While Sonia's grinding away, Shan's living it up with an endless allowance. When Sonia graduates with 0 debt because she worked her tail off, her dad just shrugs and calls it luck. Every single time Shan messes up, mom and dad are there to write a check. So of course, that leads us to today, where a little breakup is somehow the excuse for Grand Theft Auto's real estate cousin.
And if you want to know everything you need to know about Sean's mindset, here it is. When Sonia finally bought that house, after years of saving, and proudly showed it to him, his reaction was, "It must be nice to be so lucky." Just wow. He genuinely couldn't see the work. To him, her success was just a lottery ticket that he felt entitled to a piece of.
But, and this is where the whole story flips on its head, in all their greed and their arrogance, Sonia's family missed one tiny but absolutely critical detail: a secret plan put into motion years before by the one person who always had Sonia's back.
See, you gotta understand, this house wasn't just wood and nails for Sonia. It was her safe space. And even more than that, it was her last real connection to her grandmother, Margaret. Whenever things got bad at home with the favoritism, Sonia would go to her grandma's, and her grandma always told her, "Your strength is your greatest asset." Turns out she was more right than either of them knew.
And that brings us to this key legal tool, a private trust. Before she passed, Sonia's grandmother secretly set one of these up. Why? Because she knew her own son, Sonia's dad, and his tendencies all too well. She was going to protect Sonia's future no matter what. Okay, and this is where Grandma's plan is just pure genius. The house, it wasn't actually in Sonia's name. It was owned by the trust, and Sonia was the trustee, which means she, and only she, had the legal power to sell it. But here's the real kicker, the checkmate move. The trust had a special clause. Any family member who tries to mess with the trust assets gets automatically and completely disinherited. They didn't just try to steal a house, they just blew up their entire financial future. So once Sonia finds this out, everything starts clicking into place. The full picture of her family's scam starts to become crystal clear. And she's not just gonna get mad. Oh no, she's gonna get evidence.
First thing, let's talk about the money. They sold her home in a lightning-fast cash deal for a whopping $420,000. They forged her name and rushed the sale through in just 10 days while she was on another continent, thinking they had committed the perfect crime.
So what did they do with nearly $500,000? Well, take a look.
A staggering 70 grand for Shan's little pity party vacation. Another 60,000 for mom and dad's new ride. The rest? Just sitting in a bank account, ready for the next shopping spree. The audacity is just off the charts.
And if you're wondering, how can she prove any of this? Oh, this is the best part. Sonia had a weird gut feeling before she left and installed hidden cameras. And the footage is an absolute gold mine. It shows her dad and brother sneaking into her office, digging through her files. It even catches her own mother sitting there practicing Sonia's signature again and again and again before she forges it on the legal documents. It's all on tape.
So now, Sonia is armed with her grandmother's brilliant legal trap and stone-cold video proof. The power has completely shifted. Now we get to see exactly how Sonia starts to take back control, piece by piece.
And her plan is just methodical. It's beautiful. Step 1, she walks into a police station with all that video evidence and files a report for fraud and forgery. Step 2, she has her lawyer contact the new owners, who, by the way, had no idea they're victims here too. Step 3, they start the legal battle to completely void the sale. And then the final, devastating move, she tells her lawyer to enforce the trust and officially cut off her entire family.
So what's the final score? Well, the consequences are about as serious as it gets. Sonia's family is looking at actual criminal charges. We're talking fraud and forgery. Financially, they played themselves. By triggering that little clause, they've lost any right to not just the house money, but a much, much larger inheritance. And Sonia? She gets her house back, and she keeps full control of the trust her grandmother so wisely set up to protect her.
And that really leaves us with this one big question, right? Sonia did everything by the book. She used the law to get back what was hers and to hold her family accountable for their actions. But when the betrayal runs this deep, when it's your own blood, what does justice truly look like? There's no easy answer to that one. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.